When will psychics start flying planes? These scenes were filmed in November 2022 in the Chinese province of Guangdong. Think about it. Drunk driver at the wheel? Not quite. There's no driver in this car at all. The car is on autopilot. It accelerated the electric car to 198 kilometers per hour in a 60 zone, fatally hit two people, and only stopped when it crashed into another car. The car owner claimed that artificial intelligence took over control and stated that the car could only be stopped by the power of thought. Think it's an exaggeration? Think again. I need to focus on the green triangle. Trying to concentrate. It's not working. Got it. The driver of this German concept car hasn't lost his mind. He establishes a connection with the car. Notice, there's no steering wheel or gear shift in the car. It can only be moved by the power of thought. And I'm not talking about telekinesis. The human brain connects to the onboard computer using a special headband. If we want to turn left or right, a specific part of the brain is activated. The device detects these impulses and directs them to the car's control center. Developers say they were inspired by the movie Avatar, where humanoids connected with nature. The main idea was to create a similar, intuitive, and natural interaction between humans and machines. However, to control such a car, the driver needs to be extremely focused on the road. What if the person starts daydreaming or gets distracted? Don't worry, the designers have thought of everything. At the slightest risk, the car switches to a backup control system, bio-joystick. Just place your hand on the panel and the car recognizes you by your pulse and starts. If you remove your hand, the car stops. Now, what about controlling an airplane with the power of thought? American developers suggest doing just that. However, the Neuro headset for pilots looks much more impressive. After all, there are many more onboard systems in an airliner. To take off, a person needs to learn to associate shapes on the screen with the movements of the aircraft. For example, if you imagine a flying triangle, the machine interprets this signal as retract landing gear. Our subconscious is faster than consciousness. The pilot won't even have time to think that something is wrong with the plane, and his brain has already noticed it. Brain impulses will send information about the problem to the control system. Neuro headsets will be useful not only for drivers and pilots. Russian developers have come up with a headset that allows you to control any electrical device with your thoughts. The device looks like a headband with 6 electrodes covered in silver chloride. It records the electroencephalogram of the brain, amplifies the signal, and connects it via Bluetooth to the desired gadget. Philography is essentially measuring the electrical activity of the brain. This device is a high-precision voltmeter. This technology will not only give us superpowers, but also help immobilize people to control prosthetics, wheelchairs, or virtual keyboards. Eric, what's the weather like in Vancouver now? Couldn't you come up with a more original question? It's 15 degrees with wind. Your gadget is working fine. Don't think the picture froze. The man is actually speaking without opening his mouth. Soon, neurointerfaces will be able to give us superpowers. Scientists have come up with a way to read minds. The secret lies in these sensors that detect subtle tension in articulatory muscles. It happens involuntarily when a person thinks. The devices recognize these micro movements and translate them into words. In other words, the device literally reads thoughts. You can connect the device to a smartphone and silently dictate voice messages, or set up sound playback through headphones so you can communicate with someone without being heard. However, headsets, caps, and helmets only allow the use of a small fraction of our brain's capabilities. True superpowers will come from neural implants embedded in the head. However, not everyone will dare, and the law prohibits experimenting on humans. An American neurotechnology company implanted chips in the brain of a monkey named Pager. In less than 2 months, the monkey mastered video games and learned to type. In addition, developers demonstrated a robot capable of implanting implants into the brain with precision, stating that the technology is almost ready for use in humans. However, the safety of such operations raised doubts among the police. Criminal charges were filed against scientists for cruelty to animals. Facts of the mass death of monkeys during the experiment surfaced. You won't believe it, but there are already 6 people in the world with a neural chip implanted in their brains. While Americans run an advertising campaign and fight with authorities, Australian technologists are implanting neural chips in sick people. This is allowed by law. The first patient was Philip O'Keefe. Sclerosis made him completely immobile. Doctors introduced a chip into the man's brain through a jugular vein and implanted a transmitter into the chest muscle. The chip allows him to communicate without speech or fingers. Now Philip types his messages on a computer, mentally choosing the necessary letters. According to experts' forecasts, in just 10 years, neural chips will become as commonplace as mobile phones today. People will spend 90% of their lives in a virtual world. We will be able to connect directly to the internet, control devices with our thoughts, read minds, and absorb terabytes of information in a fraction of a second. The main thing is not to forget to recharge the neural chip in the head. Developers already promised to release special pillows with wireless charging.